Creating Creative Spaces, brought to you by Kinsley Ray, Taylor Plate, Madeline Loyd, Rachel Burroughs, and Dani Dean. So, creating creative spaces, what you plan to look forward to. Create and innovate. It's time to TDCIL. Tinker, discover, create, invent, and learn. Here's what you can look forward to in this presentation. You will get an insight in what we believe as a team is necessary to get more people creating at ULab's Makerspace. These things include an after-school program startup, a new website design, a restructure of the internship program, revamping of social media pages, business relations with sponsors, and organizational safety procedures. Now let's move on to the problem statement and situation analysis of this whole campaign. So the main things, ULabs is facing a variety of problems dealing with funding, organizational vision, and communication. The first issue is the difficulty in applying for grants and finding donors to be involved and invested in the organization. The second issue is the way ULabs communicates with its stakeholders, collaborators, and outreach programs. It is essential to establish well thought out and organized channels of communication with the different groups of people that impact the organization. Finally, ULabs faces issues pertaining to their vision and what they would like to accomplish in a given time frame. Now here's some background information. So the team situation analysis outlines the basic information about ULabs, which includes its location in Lubbock, Texas, the founder, Lean Borno, and the mission of the organization, creating a safe space for Lubbock children to create. We analyze and discuss the communications efforts of ULabs, which was insufficient to meet organizational goals at that point. The team also describes the political and economic factors that may affect ULabs, which includes legislation that discourages donations to nonprofits. Finally, the team explains the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for ULabs. Weaknesses and threats mainly include competitors, lack of communication, and the political climate, while strengths and opportunities involve a unique mission and a high level of community loyalty. ULab's mission is to provide a collaborative space in Lubbock where anyone can come to tinker, discover, create, invent, and learn. At ULabs, you can access major equipment and the space to bring ideas to life with your tools. If you are not an expert, no problem. ULabs provides instrumental workshops for all of our equipment. The vision is to provide a space to meet other makers, those who are always curious, always excited to learn, hack, and create the next big thing. ULabs is a community of your peers who shares your interests. And values. ULabs values learning, creativity, and opportunity for everyone who comes through the door. We want to spread the joy of innovation to the Lubbock community, especially to our local youth. Next, Taylor is going to talk to you a little bit about research.
Hi, this is Taylor, and I'm going to give you some insight into the research we conducted for this project. We started out with 3 main research questions. The first was, what factors impact Lubbock businesses in their decision to support local organizations? And how does that impact their decision to financially support an organization like ULabs? The second was, how does awareness of ULabs impact college students' interest in collaborating with the organization? The third and final research question was, how does awareness of ULabs impact the willingness of local high schools to collaborate? To answer these questions, we surveyed college students and we interviewed local Lubbock businesses and high school administration. Specifically, we set up an intercept point to survey Texas Tech students using donuts as an incentive to take a 2-minute survey. To interview local businesses, we used the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce website to find businesses and then reached out to the business owners for interviews. For high school administration, we reached out to high schools in the Lubbock area and we asked to interview at least one administrator. To give you some insight into the findings of our college student survey, we found that on average, students interviewed answered no or maybe when asked if they had heard of ULabs. Additionally, on average, students answered that they would be either a little interested or neither interested or disinterested when asked if they would be interested in utilizing a makerspace. Students also answered on average that they would be more likely to trust an organization if they are on social media, and this was followed by the result that on average, students are likely to be impacted by a company's online presence. Finally, most students answered that they had considered an internship and they desire payment more than anything else. From our interviews with high school administrators, none of the people interviewed had ever heard of ULabs. 2 of the 3 people interviewed did have knowledge about makerspaces, and they were unanimously interested in partnering with ULabs. All schools expressed different needs, although all were located in Lubbock County. From our interviews with business owners, we found that only one person interviewed had knowledge of ULabs, but all business owners stated that they thought makerspaces could bring value to the Lubbock community. Additionally, all business owners stated that their organization usually partnered with other organizations with similar interests. To give you a review of our key insights, we found that college students would be more likely to utilize ULabs if they were more aware, and if ULabs were more active on digital and social media channels. Additionally, ULabs needs to make sure they're providing experience to their interns, especially if they're unable to pay them. Within high schools, the need for information was paramount. None of the schools we spoke to were aware, and so our key insight is simply that ULabs has to make their organization and their mission known to local schools. Within local businesses, only one person we interviewed was aware of ULabs, which suggests the need for increasing awareness in this target audience group. Additionally, business owners stated that they were more likely to partner with an organization if their missions aligned, which means that ULabs needs to seek out organizations with similar interests. This research has given our team the understanding we need to create our campaign plan. In our next section, Maddie is going to tell you about what we have planned for you.
Campaign theme. The theme of our campaign is value. ULabs is an organization with great potential to bring its services and mission to the Lubbock community. Creating creative spaces within the Lubbock community enables local youth to express themselves, educate themselves, and ultimately find value in themselves. The value that ULabs can bring is different for each target audience. For schools, ULabs values stem from their ability to provide a workspace to students. For college students, ULabs serves as a place to gain work experience as an intern. And finally, for businesses, ULabs' value can be found in their ability to provide partnership and community outreach. Target publics. The team determined 3 key publics, including local businesses, college students, and high schools. In terms of our campaign plan, local businesses are our priority. We chose local Lubbock-based businesses because of ULab's interest in business partnerships and financial support. Specifically, we wanted local businesses because of their support systems formed around them in Lubbock. College students are an important target public as well, since they fuel ULab's intern population and provide an opportunity for extra hands to assist the organization. Additionally, this group was chosen because they are old enough to use the space by themselves, which allows them to operate more independently. High schools, which will consist of parents, students, teachers, and administration, are an essential target public in terms of ULab's mission. ULabs has a passion for educating teachers and creating makerspaces for students. Key messages. The key message for local businesses is support the creativity of Lubbock children with ULabs. Partner with ULabs to create safe, educational spaces for children. And donate today to bring makerspaces to Lubbock children. The key message for college students is find opportunity for real-world experience at ULabs. At ULabs, you can work on projects that further your career and provide real-world experience. Experience within our nonprofit will prepare you for the business world. The key message for high schools is provide creative, educational outlets for students. Work with ULabs to provide a creative outlet to students, and students can further their education through entrepreneurship at ULabs. Goals. The team determined two main goals, the first of which is generate public awareness within target audiences. ULAPS has a great mission, but the strength of its mission doesn't matter if no one is aware of their organization. The team's first and foremost goal is to raise awareness of ULABs among the community, but specifically within target audience groups. Raising awareness of the mission, services, and values of the organization is the first step in growing ULAB's presence in the organization. Secondly, create clarity and transparency in the organization's communications. ULAB's current communications are less clear than they could be. As a nonprofit, transparency is essential to fostering community trust. Additionally, ULABS needs to create a clear message that conveys their mission, along with clear organizational practices and goals. This will come in the form of a clearly branded social media and refined website design. Objectives. These goals will be met and measured by the set objectives. Objective 1. To increase public awareness among target audiences. A. Increase awareness among local businesses affiliated with children by 10% by December of 2021. B. Increase awareness of ULAB's internship opportunities by 5% among Lubbock College students by December 2021. C. Increase awareness among high school administration by 33% by December of 2021. Objective 2. Increase positive attitudes among target audiences. A. Increase positive attitudes among local businesses affiliated with children by 5% by August 2022. B. Increase positive attitudes about ULAB's internship programs among college students by 2.5% by August 2022. C. Increase positive attitudes among high school administration by 16.5% by August 2022. Strategies and tactics. Strategy 1. Implementing a social media campaign. Strategy 1 will accomplish the team's objectives by increasing public awareness and positive attitudes among our three target audiences. Currently, ULABS is present among all major social media platforms, but has little to no interaction with followers. When researching college students, the team found that 27.17% of participants said that a company's online presence greatly affects their decision to check them out in person, and 36.96% said it affected their decision some. Additionally, the team found that local business owners felt a disconnect between ULAB's communication efforts and their mission. One even commented, "It's a low criteria, but they need to regularly create content." Due to these findings, the team feels that a social media campaign would be an effective strategy to accomplish the objectives. Tactic 1. Hire a communications intern or multiple interns to run social media. Tactic 2. Create monthly social media content to highlight events and activities at ULABS. Strategy 2. Creating opportunities in the community to engage with target audiences. Lubbock is a family and community-driven city. They are keen to participate in a variety of activities for the connection, community, socializing, and learning. Due to the social atmosphere of ULAB's location, the team feels that creating community opportunities and events will increase public awareness and foster positive attitudes amongst target audiences. When analyzing the data found through the survey of college students, the team discovered that 81.82% of participants had not heard of ULABs. Yet over half of those surveyed claimed they would have some level of interest in learning more about makerspaces. Likewise, school administration representatives that were interviewed were unanimously interested in partnering with ULABs, whether that be through workshops or creating makerspace environments within schools. Due to these factors, the team feels that implementing community engagement will accomplish the objectives stated. Tactic 1. Message specific businesses through social media platforms and email directly to request one-on-one meetings. Tactic 2. Become a member of Keep It Local Lubbock. Tactic 3. Partner with local businesses to set up a booth at First Friday Art Trail for community outreach. Strategy 3, internal restructuring of the internship program. ULabs currently has 50 unpaid interns who work on projects and have access to all tools and machines in the makerspace for free. They are college students that range across all majors, typically creative-minded people that work on different projects, most of which are self-driven and mostly self-created. When researching college students and what factors of an internship are most important, 12.9% said mentorship, 28.57% said payment, and 57.14% said experience. As of now, ULab's current internship program seems to lack these three important elements, making it hard to recruit and increase a positive attitude towards the organization. Internal restructuring of the program would allow interns to work in their designated field of study, granting them real-world experience and therefore benefiting ULabs. Tactic 1. Hire a public relations manager to oversee communications interns. Tactic 2. Write out a proposed plan for the internship restructure. Tactic 3. Create a webpage to highlight internship opportunities. Tactic 4. Send emails to collegiate organizations to promote internship opportunities. Tactic 5. Attend career fairs at Lubbock colleges. Strategy 4. Implementing organizational safety practices. Currently, ULab's workspace is rather small, and it means they cannot host more than a few people at a time. The makerspace is disorganized and filled with lots of heavy machinery and equipment that could pose possible hazards to consumers. The team found that there is a lack of safety measures and procedures in place, making it difficult to increase positive attitudes towards the company. When researching local business owners and school administration, the team found that many were hesitant about ULabs due to poor safety conditions, even stating, "Business owners have safety as a priority and will not put their staff or any of their customers at risk unless they are confident that there are some good safeguards in place." In light of the data collected, the team feels that implementing organizational safety practices will be an effective strategy to accomplish the set objectives. Tactic 1. Write out safety practice policies. Tactic 2. Implement safety tests before being allowed to work in the space. Tactic 3. Create a web page to communicate required safety classes for all machinery. Strategy 5. Create after-school programs. Founder Lean Borno initially began ULabs because she desired to create a safe place for kids to go after school, to be creative and bring their ideas to life. The team feels that creating an after-school program would entice students to use the makerspace, whether that be an extracurricular activity or an out-of-school elective class. When researching school administration, the team found that many were interested in the possibility of partnering with ULabs to create programs for their students. One interviewee stated, "Keeping kids busy is a lot more to keep them involved in something than other negative things." ULabs has a unique opportunity to partner with schools, which, if applied, the team feels will increase public awareness and positive attitudes among the target audience. Tactic 1. Email school administrators for meetings with schools to elaborate on business. Tactic 2. Present an overall plan that outlines safety measures, student participation, and business value to students. Strategy 6. Increase public access to ULabs information. Communication and information regarding ULabs are currently unorganized, resulting in a lower rate of public awareness of the organization. When analyzing their website, the team felt it was difficult to find information about their finances, including sponsorships, cost of classes, and other business-related details. Additionally, the team found that particulars such as times of business and schedules are confusing and strenuous to find. After completing research among our 3 target audiences, the team unanimously found that as a nonprofit organization that relies heavily on donations and community support, it is essential for stakeholders and notable community members to have a clear understanding of ULab's business operations. The team feels that if ULabs increases public access to information, then public awareness and positive attitudes among target audiences will also be increased. Tactic 1. Upload financials and other business information online. Tactic 2. Upload set, scheduled times that ULabs is open to the public.
Next, we will hear from Dani as she tells us a little bit more about how we plan to evaluate this campaign.
Hi, my name is Dani. So the evaluation method we plan to use for this campaign to see if it was actually successful or not is we will first be looking at our two objectives. Objective 1 was increasing awareness among local businesses, college students, and high school admin. So to see if we actually succeeded in making these people aware of ULabs after the campaign, we'll be interviewing the businesses and students, and we will be surveying the high school admin. Just to see if they're more aware of the services that ULabs can provide. And then that leads us into objective 2, which was attempting to create increase positive attitudes among our target audiences as well. So after they're aware of us, do they have a better attitude about us? Did it change at all? Do they have a neutral attitude, or is it a negative attitude towards ULabs? So with this, we plan to see how successful we were in achieving our goals and objectives through our strategies and our tactics.
Lastly, we will hear from Rachel as she tells you about timeline, budget, and wrapping up this pitch.
Moving into the timeline of our campaign, we've worked it over a 2-year period and broken it up into 3 different phases. We would start the campaign at the beginning of July, and from that time until January 1st of 2021, we would really work to build the organization from the inside, work on safety procedures, different business information, updating websites, and doing a little bit of restructuring in order to move into phase 2 that begins on March 1st, where we work on community engagement. It's really important that we finish what needs to be done internally before getting started with community engagement, so that we are sending the same message to our community and we are being as transparent and clear as possible. Moving forward, after beginning the community engagement will last for the entire rest of the campaign. It just starts in phase 2. After beginning community engagement, we move into restructuring the internship program March 8th through May 15th. A little bit of this is going to be done in phase 1, but we really want to focus on this in phase 2 to get some research from students to know exactly what they're looking for, to provide different internship opportunities within the organization, like communications or engineering or art, and really focusing on each different area to intern. And then after that, we start the social media campaign. We are hoping, after restructuring the internship program, to be able to hire a few interns that would then be able to help continue the campaign beginning with social media. Moving on after the social media is when we come into phase 3. So once we finish all of phase 1 and phase 2, then we feel the company would be ready to move into phase 3, which starts partnering with high school programs. So in this area, we would work to build partnerships with local high schools that have reacted positively to our community engagement, and work with them to build high school programs. This could be an after-school program. This could be a collaborative program that gives a student
credit for a certain class. And then continuing on after that, July 1st, 2020 is when the campaign would end. Just because the campaign ends on July 1st, 2020 doesn't necessarily mean that these things that I have mentioned here will stop happening. Community engagement, social media, working with schools for high school programs and things like that. These are all things that are going to continue after the campaign is over, but are certain areas that need to be pinpointed to really get a kickstart during the campaign. So next is our budget. Here we have estimated just approximately how much it's going to cost over the 2 years for this campaign. We've allotted a monthly event budget for things like First Friday Art Trail, or if you were to do a community event, we've allotted a total of $15,600, which is $650 a month for events. It might not be a lot at the time being, but it will be plenty for this 2-year campaign. We have monthly giveaways at $2,400, so $100 per month. This is going to help with community engagement, getting your community, your students, your high schools involved in your organization. Having a public relations manager, their salary is going to be about $21,000 for the 2 years. And this is very important in working with the campaign. Social media and advertising, this is paid, owned, shared. That's all going to come to a total of approximately $1,200. Evaluation incentives is $300. These incentives are just going to, be so that we can get feedback on how the campaign is going. We have an error fund of $2,500 so that if anything were to happen and these numbers are not correct, we have a backup to fall back on. The website domain is going to be $432. This is a cost that you might not need because you already have a website in terms of just reorganizing it. And then event booking fees for the different monthly events that you have are going to be approximately $195. Moving on, why you should hire us. When we created this campaign, the main thought we constantly had was, how can we produce a valuable product? How can we showcase the value of ULabs, and how can we help innovate a more valuable ULabs? As a team, we hold all special values that aided in the completion of this campaign. While it has a lengthy timeline, we believe that this campaign can revamp your brand and allow for valued projects to be innovated at ULabs. We feel that this campaign is going to allow you to reach your goals and go even further. 20 years from now, we want to hear about all the projects that were created at ULabs and see new businesses grow from the ground up. We know this is a lot of information, and we hope we didn't overwhelm you, but we enjoyed creating this for you and hope that you come create creative spaces with us. So thank you.
If you have any questions, feel free to email us, and we hope to hear from you soon.